All right, seventh grade. Really excited to talk to us a little bit about the Rockies scoreboard math station that you're at right now. Should be a really great precursor to our excursion. Hopefully, some helpful information that will support your understanding of math and how it connects to sports, like in this case, the Rockies game that we're going to. Something I'm really passionate about. All right, let's get a chance just to talk a little bit about what we're trying to accomplish in this quick video. The goal of what we're going to be doing in class today is to have a better understanding of how statistics can be used to evaluate how a player is performing. There are many different players that are on the Rockies and all the baseball teams, and we're just going to be talking a little bit about how we can use statistics to better understand the way that the Rockies are performing and other baseball players as well, and which I do think just connects in general to just how we can use math to help see the world around us. All right, let's get a chance to jump into some of the math. Wow, beautiful big scoreboard that we have right there of the Rockies right there. Oh, what a cool cutout that we get a chance to see up here. The picture of the Rockies. How wonderful, how picturesque. Just some basic details about this scoreboard. It was built in 2018, 6.8 million LED lights. Wow. 8,600 square feet. And it's going to be the place that we are looking at to get lots of information about how players are performing. You can see right here, this arrow is pointing to a player who has a 304 batting average. We're going to be talking a little bit about that. What is a batting average? What does it mean as we get a chance to do some of our math? But you'll see the scoreboard has tons of different examples of math that's on there. And really, it's just to tell you, how is that player performing? So maybe you have an idea of how will they perform in the future. If I played Quinn in basketball 100 times, he would probably shoot better than me in 80 or 90 of those times. And we would know that by looking at his past performance. He made 7 3-pointers. The last time that we went 1-to-1 in a minute, I made 3. Quinn is probably going to make around 7 most times we go. And to be quite honest, I probably wouldn't make 3. But we can use past performance as a way to predict the probability for a future event. So the first question I think we should know is, what is a batting average? You're going to see that statistic on the scoreboard for many of our batters. Now, the batting average is the number of hits a player has divided by their number of at-bats. So if a person has gotten up to bat, let's say 8 times, and they have 4 hits, well, then they would have a 500 batting average. They're getting a hit every other time that they are up. If they've gotten up 9 times and they have 3 hits, 3 over 9, they have a 333 batting average, which means they get a hit 1 out of every 3 times. Here's Juan Soto. He plays for the Yankees. He is a really good hitter that they have. They have many of them. We can see that he has 15 hits. He's been at bat 42 times. If we do 15 divided by 42, we will come to his batting average of 357, which is a really great batting average. This is a chart of all of the batting averages that Major League Baseball players have had in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. And you can see that the preponderance of the data, the most of the data, is kind of around that 300 batting average. Maybe a little bit lower than that. A batter who has a batting average over 300, that's a really strong batting average. A batter who has a batting average below 200, that's not very good at all. If they're above 350, 360, 370, wow, they are doing really well. So the first activity that you are going to be doing today is to calculate the batting averages for the regular Rocky players. So your teacher has a sheet right here. It's called Scoreboard Math, and it has the example already done for you from Brenton Doyle, who is the center fielder for the Rockies. Brenton Doyle, as of Monday, had 36 at-bats. He had 10 hits. So if we were to find the batting average of a player like Brenton Doyle, we would do 10 divided by 36, and that tells you that he gets a hit 27.8% of the time, or 0.278. Batting averages are usually given with 3 digits. If we reduce that fraction, 5 over 36, well, they're both divisible by 2, so the numerator 10 divided by 2 gets you 5, 36 divided by 2 gets you 18, so he gets a hit 5 out of every 18 times that he comes to the plate. That's what we could reasonably expect. A little bit more than 1 over 4, not quite at that 300 level. It's a pretty good batting average. let's see if I can. All right. So what we want our students to do now, teachers, you can go ahead and pause this video and give students enough time to finish out the scoreboard math to find the average of all of the players that they have on that Rockies sheet. Again, they're finding the average by doing the number of hits divided by the number of at-bats. We have some calculators that we can have students use, and it's up to teachers if they're working individually or in groups. But give students some time to finish this sheet, and then you can resume the video. I'll give you time to press the pause button. All right, so students, you got a chance to finish that scoreboard math sheet. We have some other questions on the back of this sheet. They're going to get onto some more complex statistics for baseball. The first one that we want to talk about is on-base percentage. Yes, it's great when students get a hit, as you can see in this little top icon right here. Oh, sweet, I didn't even realize it was the Red Sox. Red Sox player getting a hit against the Dodgers, getting on base, so you can see that ball safely lands. That player is going to get to first base. Another way that a player can get on base is if they get a walk. If the pitcher throws 4 balls out of the strike zone, then the player gets a walk and gets to go to first base because the pitcher was not throwing strikes. It's also true that someone could get hit on base if they get hit by a pitch, but we don't worry about that just yet. So a player's on-base percentage, it takes their number of hits plus the number of walks, and it divides them by the number of at-bats and walks that they have had. Now, this is really great because there are some hitters who are really good at getting walks. They have a lot of discipline. They don't swing at strikes outside of the strike zone or swing at balls outside of the strike zone. And so it helps them get walks. Now, whether you get to first base because you get a walk or whether you get to first base because you get a hit, it still helps your team. So on-base percentage, and this is popularized in the Brad Pitt movie Moneyball, is a really great way for us to measure a baseball player's true ability to get on base, which is obviously part of scoring in the game. Now, let's look at an example. This is a leading baseball player for the year right now. We have 10 hits so far and 28 at bats. That's a really good batting average, that 357. But they've also got 7 walks. And so if we are to figure out the on-base percentage, we're doing 10 plus 7, so 17, and we're dividing that by the number of at-bats, 28, plus the number of walks, 35. So that would be 19 divided by 35. That would get you an on-base percentage of 0.514, which is that's an incredible on-base percentage. Anything above 500 is unbelievable. That means they're getting onto first base more than 1 out of every 2 times they come to the plate. Really great statistics. There's a question that is on your sheet, on base percentage. Teachers, you could choose to pause this video and solve that question, or you can just roll through the rest of this video and then solve all the questions that are remaining. Dealer's choice. All right, slugging percentage. This is an important statistic that we use in baseball to help explain the impact that hitting the ball further can have within within the game. So getting a single is great, but as you can see, this player right here, playing for the Pawtucket Red Sox, that's sick. This player hits a home run, and so that scores a run right there. That's so much better than a single because it already gets something on the board, and if there's runners that are already on base, it would bring them home as well. So the value of a home run or a triple or a double is definitely more than a single. And there is a formula that we use to find what someone's slugging percentage is. That formula, it divides by at-bats, but it gives singles 1 point. It gives doubles 2 points. It gives triples, you guessed it, 3 points, and home runs 4 points. You add up all the value that a player has, divide by the at-bats, and now that on-base percentage is going to be higher than their batting average. And let's take Shohei Ohtani, the biggest superstar in baseball, the highest paid player. Shohei Ohtani has 12 singles this year, 7 doubles, 1 triple, 3 home runs, and 55 at-bats. To find Shohei Ohtani's slugging percentage, we would give 12 points for those singles. We would do 14 points, 7 times 2 for the doubles, 3 points for the triple, 1 triple, and then 12 for the home run. 3 times 4 is 12. We'd add all of that up. We would divide it by 55, and you would get a slugging percentage of .745, which is a very high slugging percentage, and it shows that this is a player with a lot of power, and it gives Shohei Ohtani makes them a really successful baseball player. The last statistic that we want to talk about, and again, teachers, you could choose to pause and solve question 2 on the sheet, or you can move on to question 3, is on base plus slugging. So we already talked about the on base percentage, a player's ability to get on base either from a hit or a walk. We talked about slugging percentage, calculating a player's ability to get to hit the ball a little bit further. There's another statistic which is simply adding on base plus slugging, and this really is the best metric to get an understanding of a positional player's total value when it comes to hitting. So on base plus slugging simply adds their on base percentage plus their slugging percentage. Let's use Mookie Betts as an example. One of the best players in baseball, plays for the Dodgers. Unfortunately, the Red Sox traded him away. Mookie Betts has 48 at bats this year. He has 18 hits. Of those, 3 are doubles, 1's a triple, 5 are home runs. He also has 13 walks. Wow, that's amazing. Getting on base a ton. Very disciplined hitter. And because he can hit 5 home runs, they're not throwing him a lot of strikes. They're trying to be careful with him. That's one of the benefits of hitting with power. Now, if we were to find his batting average, that would be 18 divided by 48 equals 0.375. If we're to find the on base percentage, that would be the 18 hits plus the 13 walks. That's 31. 31 divided by not just 48, because you have to add those 13 walks, 61 at bats. So 31 divided by 61, you would get that 508 on base percentage. And if you added the on base percentage plus the slugging percentage, you would get an OPS of 1.3, which is the second highest in all of Major League Baseball right now. Hopefully some of these statistics, which you will see at the scoreboard, help to your understanding of the game. Please make sure you are solving all of the questions on the sheet.